Hi, my name is Daniel Wariboko, and I directed in Cycles. When I first heard this story, so I'll give a brief story. I got a call from Prince on a Saturday morning, and I felt it was the usual legal jobs because I'm his lawyer, and we had a whole lot of pending transactions to do then. So I felt like he was calling to discuss about one of those transactions, and then he said, I pick up the phone, and then he's like, Daniel, I want to do a film. And I'm like, okay, nice. And then he said, I want you to do it. I felt for laughed, and then we just talked about it, and then I was like, okay, let me hear your story. So he told me the entire story, gave me the entire synopsis, and I said, okay, I'm in. And immediately I went on to write. I had the first draft and I sent it to him, and he was like, oh, this is great, but can we tweak this? Can we add and remove some parts? And then we did all of that. And I sent it again the second time, the second draft, and then he said, this is good, but there's one thing missing. So he couldn't pick what was missing. So we just had a conversation, and I said, okay, just run me through what you're thinking. So we just kept on talking and talking, and immediately I knew what was missing, even though he could not communicate what he wanted to. So I went ahead and I did the last draft, the final draft, and I sent it to him. And then he called, and then he's like, Daniel, this is good. I think we have our script. Let's move on. So the when I first heard this story, I felt it was incredible. I felt it was very timely too, because it's a it's a message that also needs to be drummed in the ears of this our generation, you know. So yes, I was blown away when I heard the story for the first time. Yeah, and I knew it was going to be as amazing as it was at the end of the day. I'll start with the crew members. For the crew, it was a breeze because I had amazing crew members that I was working with. Especially directors of photography, Joshua and Wenika. I've worked with with Wenika previously before this production. So Wenika is a comic relief on any set that you find him on. He brings the vibe, he brings passion, he brings professionalism into whatever job he's doing. So Winika is flawless. And then of course Joshua would get into your head as a director. Once you tell him, okay, I want this shot, Joshua will go over and above and do exceeding what you asked for. So for the crew members, it was completely amazing, especially the sound guy, the gaffer, everybody was amazing, you know. And then for the actors, Prince Emmanuel inclusive, they were strangely very good, you know. They were passionate, they were willing to learn, they were willing to listen, they were willing to be shouted on sometimes, not like in a rude way, but you know, if you're into filmmaking, you understand what I mean. So there's sometimes that you just need to just push people, bring out that other side of them that they don't think that they have in there, you know. So for every single one of them, they did amazingly well. Yeah, so yeah, I think for the crew, for the cast, they were amazing. Prince is an extreme perfectionist. I think that's one area our lives mirror each other. So it's quite easy for us to flow. But on this project and a couple of other projects I've worked with him on, it was it was it was very tough to give him anything below excellent. You know, he would always say, okay, this is good, this is excellent, this is fine, and but we do it better? And I'm like, yes, we can, you know. And I think because I felt like most of the actors were greenhorns, and I didn't want to just push them to the very extreme. Even if I wanted that, I didn't want, because I believe acting is acting as if you are not acting. So I've always drummed that in their ears. So they were always very conscious not. They were very conscious not to not to act in the sense of the word act, but to become their characters. And to a very large extent, I feel like everybody stepped into the shoes of the characters that they were given, you know. So for Prince Emmanuel, I would say he's he's excellent driven, and that made it easy for us to communicate since we speak the same language. So yeah, it was quite easy and seamless working with him on this project and the other projects I've worked with him on. So everything that exalts itself must become big. Aside the fact that the story was intriguing for me, I I had an amazing time with the entire cast on set. Everybody brought their A game. Everybody ensured that they made themselves happy. I can recall some actors calling me 12 midnight. Can you just listen to me deliver these lines? Am I doing it well? Can you hear me? And I'm like, okay, yes, it's fine. You're doing it very well. And at the end of the day, I would say I was completely happy and proud to be on this project because of the amazing cast. I think that is what was amazing for me on the project. The cast, they were very willing to take multiple shots, and trust me, we took multiple shots. We Some of them didn't come out so good, but I scrapped out some. We scrapped out some, but at the end of the day, everybody put in their best. I think that was the most amazing thing for me on the production of this film. So In Cycles is a film that every single person needs to see. It's a film that is very timely, and of course the impact is there. On the one hand, like I said earlier, Prince Emmanuel is someone who is driven by excellence. So expect everything to be excellently delivered. In Cycles, the sound design, the picture quality, the theme songs, every single thing, we took our time. And by the way, we shot this over a year ago, so it took us this long because we needed everything to be at least to the best of. While this project was a learning curve for Prince Emmanuel's filmmaking foot in the door, it was also he needed it to be as excellent as possible. I mean, we see a reflection of his excellence in the music that he puts out. So most definitely, the films will not be anything less than that. So yes, In Cycles is a film that every single person needs to watch.